Donuts was first made in the mid-19th century, and the first donut shape was invented in 1847. Hi, I'm Maya Moore, and welcome to Entrepreneurs. On today's show, we'll learn about the background of a local business owner and how they got the idea to own their own business. Then we'll discuss how to start a business, and finally the process of owning a business and the work that goes into it all. All that and more on the episode of Entrepreneurs. Have you ever wondered how a business owner became who they are? Here to share with us their background is business owner Brandy Kriminger. Thanks for joining us and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
First question is, just to start off, a little background about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm from Lancaster originally.
Are you from Lancaster?
Yeah, well, Lancaster County, a little town called Rich Hill, down 522. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the area. Going back to Heath Springs and Kershaw, yeah.
And okay, now what is your family background? Is your family background based on business owning, or did any of your other family members own businesses, or it's just you?
Well, we all come from a hard-working background. My dad was a truck driver and equipment operator for years, and my mom is in the insurance field. So I've always seen them work hard. Mm-hmm. They didn't necessarily own their own business, but they had a go get it attitude about them. So I did get that from them.
Okay. Did you ever go to college for this, or majored in business or cooking?
No, actually I didn't. I didn't have any business background, and I probably majored in eating more than I needed to. And I have a love for sweets and donuts, and my family has always been cooks. And I really got a lot of what I know, about what kind of flavors to use, our blueberry lemons and our apple pies. I got that from my family, and my grandma, she loved to stay in the kitchen and bake. And so I didn't really have a lot of education as far as going to college, which has held me back a little bit. I would say if you wanted to do a business, make sure you get a business degree, and so you know what you're you know what to look forward to and how to handle a lot of problems that come about, and you can focus on growing your business instead of trying to educate yourself. It makes it a little harder. So no, I don't have a business degree, but I would advise anyone going into business to get one.
Your other jobs, were you working in more restaurants or outside of restaurant? What some of your other jobs before you started your own business?
So I was really into more serious positions in life when I was about 20 or 21, I would say. I started working at Department of Social Services out, are you familiar with, the Department of Social Services? I was a caseworker out there. I started off in clerical. They gave me the opportunity to learn, vital customer service skills, patience, problem-solving skills. And I took that and I applied it to insurance and thought I wanted to do something, something that will provide me and my kids with a lifestyle that, was comfortable. Mm-hmm. And it was more of a serious job that paid the bills pretty much. So I ran with it and started up my insurance agency, and from there, I kind of, just thought I needed something more fun in life. My daughter, she's a teenager now. She needs something to do that is exciting, and no one cares about insurance. Most people hate to pay the insurance bills, so you wanna do something that people enjoy. And when I ran into the building over on Gay Street, it kind of all started from there. I wanted to put a donut shop downtown.
That's
something
great.
Fun and exciting to do.
So how old were you when you first realized what career you wanted, and what made you want to own your own business?
I was probably 24 or 25. I had been working for couple of different insurance agencies along the way. And I thought that could blossom a little better out on my own. Yeah, and I'm kind of one of those people that would rather work for themselves than work for somebody and have them boss you around.
Be your own boss.
Yeah, I try not to be bossy, but I am my own boss. So, and anyone that knows me since I was a child, they can tell you I kind of do what I want to do.
So you said your family was inspiration to start your own business. Was there any other like influences or inspiration for you to start your own business, or was it mostly just family?
The community, seeing my seeing my daddy's friends, and they all had their own businesses. My mom's friends, they ran their own businesses. The car dealers around here, I mean, they just lived a carefree lifestyle, and I would see those people out and about when I would hang out with my mom and dad and all, and I'm like, I don't want to be stuck and tied down to a 9 to 5 every day. You know, I want to live my life. I don't want to let it pass me by. And so I decided to go out on my own and have the freedom to do what I want to do in life.
How is it working for somebody else compared to you being your own boss?
The freedoms. You know, it has its perks. I get to travel on my donut trailer and see, I see the mountains when we're pulling up at some of our locations. I see the beach pulling up. I mean, you see a lot of different places. And I wouldn't have those freedoms if I was stuck in an office working for someone else. Yeah. And so you have to pave your own road in life. When it's a road less traveled, you just pave your own road and go where you want to go.
So what was your family and friends' reactions when you told them, oh, I'm starting my own donut business?
Well, they always think I'm crazy. Everything I do, they think I'm crazy. I'm just so off the wall, and I kind of free-spirited and go with the flow. And that's what I did with my donut shop. When it all kind of fell into place for me, I just roll with it. And since I have that roll with it mentality, they always think, oh, she's just on another one of her whims. But when the shop actually opened up and they seen that it was going to happen for me, they kind of still, I don't know, I'm kind of still in shock sometimes. Like, I'm sitting here on a TV show now. Who would have thought?
So we're going to take a break right now. That's all the time we have for this segment. When we return, we'll discuss how to start a business and the whole process. So don't go nowhere. We'll be right back with Entrepreneurs.
They stole life.
Stop.
Stop.
Stop the violence.
They stole a father.
Stop.
Stop.
Stop the violence.
They stole a friend.
Stop.
Stop.
Stop the violence.
They stole potential.
They stole a spirit.
A dream.
Son.
They stole family.
They stole a piece of my heart.
Stop.
Stop.
Stop the violence.
It's not the answer.
It's not the answer.
Starting a business could be very hard, but it could also pay off in the end. Here with us to discuss how they start their own business is business owner Brandy Kriminger. Thanks for joining us. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
So how did you come up with the name Flavor Factory?
Well, it kind of come about after the whole idea of the shop was already started and we were building it. I wanted to name it Ring Around the Rosie, like a donut ring around the Red Rose City, and have like a galaxy theme to it, like the rings of Saturn. And the more I dove into building it and my idea of what I wanted the shop to do and run like, and I wanted all kinds of different flavors, and I wanted people to come in here and come into our shop and be able to make whatever flavor donut they want. And if we don't have it then, maybe we could learn how to create it later on. And we would just, create a factory of flavors. And that's how it came about. And we're hoping that it goes further than donuts. So we have different flavors of a number of different things. It's a slow process. It's all been a learning experience. So you have to take your time.
So about how much money did you spend to start up your business?
Every business is different. My insurance agency, I started with nothing. I come from working at another agency and didn't have anything saved up. And it was a hustle from there. And if anyone knows anything about insurance and commissions, you usually have to wait a month to get your pay. So really, I I found other odds and ends to do until I was able to get my money up, you know, and start making more and more business and getting more and more clients. And I took whatever I made. I paid my bills and take care of my kids, and the rest I'd put it to the side and save it. And everything eventually started to add up, and that's how I ended up, you know, getting my money for it. But along the way, I can't say how much I actually had to start with. My equipment in there alone is probably $20,000 worth of stuff, and everything else kind of fell into place along the way. I like to scavenge and hunt for things and Goodwill stuff, and I would find stuff on Marketplace that was, you know, cheaper than what it should be, and it just happens. I mean, it's hard. And I didn't go out and get a loan or anybody loan me any money. It wasn't like that. We just, if you want to know how much it is to start, it just depends on what kind of business you're going to do. Some things are cheaper than others to start.
So how long did you work on getting your business started, and what were you doing during that time?
So with the donut shop, I really started, I knew about the building in August or September of 2020. And for a few months I tried to figure out what I could put into the little building downtown. It was cute, it was quirky, it needed something. And probably around the beginning of 2021 in January, it was really January of 2021, I was coming from Miami and traveling up the coast of Florida because I like to travel and just go places and ride. And I needed some coffee, so I stopped at a donut shop in St. Augustine. And it was a cute little building. It wasn't wide at all, just like our little shop. If you've ever been there, it's small and tiny. So it really looked a lot like the donut shop that I was in getting my coffee. And I was like, well, this is the perfect thing to go in the small little building downtown. It had been empty for 8 years or 9 years, something along the nature, and it was a restaurant previously. So I knew I wanted to cook something in it. I just couldn't decide what. And, you know, sometimes you just go out there and life will show you what it needs. And so I ran into the donut shop. It was the perfect idea. And it all went from there. And from January to June, I worked on getting my building together. It needed a lot of work. I did most of the work myself because, like I said, you know, I built it from scratch pretty much as well. You just get it when you can. And I worked as much as I could on it. I cut all the panelings and made the walls nice and painted it. And after that, June 5th, I believe, was our opening date. And all I did was work hard on it and in it and doing the research, making sure I stayed within the guidelines of the city of Lancaster, because you have to get permits to do things. And everything that, every step that you take pretty much is monitored to make sure your building is up to code and safe for people to come in and safe to sell food out of. So I had to deal with DHEC and the applications there, and it's a process. It's all a process. You know, you call somebody and ask them to come out and inspect it. It might be 2 or 3 days, so you have to wait those days for them to come out so you can do something else. And that's pretty much what it was like for those 6 months until I could finally get it open, and everything smoothed out.
Yeah. So how did you go about finding people to work for you, or is this family-based?
It's family. I have tried to hire outside of family, and it's just as far as the scheduling goes. My sister, she's the main employee that works throughout the day, and my mom, she's always had a part-time job. Just like I said, they're hard workers. She works a full-time job, and then she comes to the donut shop and works. And just for the record, I don't work my mom. She works there because she wants to work there. I don't recruit her, but they're both there just because they want to be a part of the business. They enjoy the donuts. They work hard. They make sure it runs right, and they put their heart and soul into it like I did when I was building it. And my mom, she'll make you feel like family as soon as you walk through the door. She's never met a stranger.
Well, tell me about the license and certifications you had to have, to open your business, the process you had to follow to get those license and certifications.
So you have to have, as far as the city of Lancaster goes, you have to make sure the fire marshal comes and inspects it. You don't want to have people trapped in there without fire extinguishers and grease burning. and we have to have exit signs, and there's a code pretty much that you have to maintain. Our system that where we fry our donuts, there's a hood system, and it's a beast of its own when it comes to opening a restaurant. There's a lot of codes you got to stick to, and you deal with them on getting it in order, and then you have the business license for the city. You have DHEC certifications that you have to get. You have to get a South Carolina retail license. Let me think. I'm sure there's a few more. I'm sure you turn your business into an LLC, but that's up to you, however you decide to run that. I'm sure there's a few other ones that I'm not thinking of, but that's pretty much the license and
So there's a lot of
certification.
codes.
Right, a lot of codes. The inspector's great in the city of Lancaster. Shout out, shout out to Doug and Lewis.
So what was the hardest thing for you to learn when you first started working?
Discipline. I mean, I had discipline from working at the Department of Social Services. You get to work on time and you leave when you're supposed to. You don't call out. So when you start to work on your own, there's nobody there to tell you you got to be at work every day. Get up out of the bed and come to work. And when you have the freedom to just do whatever you want to do, sometimes you forget that you need to be working right now instead of hanging out with your friends. And that was the hardest thing for me to learn, is to stay focused and keep manage my time, and stay focused.
So what common mistake when you first started your business, what was your most common mistake?
My most common mistake is probably like a lot of business owners, not doing your proper research. And by the grace of God, I was able to get my stuff open, but there was a lot of times that I shouldn't have done what I did. I mean, there was a better step for me to take. And had I had a little education, I probably would have known better, a better business background. But just make sure you do your research. It's like going and building a cake. You got to have the correct recipe in order for the cake to bake right. Make sure you follow all your steps. Don't skip out on anything.
So we're going to take a little small break. So that's all the time we have for this segment. When we return, we'll discuss the process of owning a business and the work that goes into it. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Entrepreneurs. Owning a business could be rewarding, but could have some struggles. Here to give us their take on the process of owning a business is business owner Bernie Kriminger. Thanks for joining us and welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
So what do you enjoy most about owning your business?
The freedom and the fruits of my labor. When I have people come in our shop and say they've never tasted anything like it, we got the best donuts in town. We're better than Krispy Kreme. It makes it all worth it. It makes you happy on the inside. When we're able to take our trailer out to different functions and come to the football games. And my daughter, she goes to school here. She absolutely loves coming out to the football games with her friends. And that's really, some of the best parts of being a business owner is the community and the events and the excitement and being in the middle of things.
What gets you through a hard and long, stressful day?
Coffee and the feel, no, for real, coffee and donuts and the fear of failure. I want to make sure that, a lot of the times, most of my days consist of, if I don't get it done, everything will fall apart. So I don't really have a choice to give up. I stay consistent on the days that I don't want to be consistent, or I don't feel like getting out of the bed, or I don't feel that great. I have to remind myself that these are the tasks that have to be done today. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. They have to be done. And, just making sure I do them, because there's no other option. Once you get into a business, it's either sink or swim. and you don't want to drown out here. So keep swimming.
What has been your proudest moment as an owner?
This is going to be so childish, but when the fair came to town, when we were kids, we had a fair all the time. Well, my generation did. I remember going out there playing, spending the night at the carnival, and I always wanted to be one of the carnies. I wanted to travel with them, go to different places, see different things. And for one week over the summer, a couple months ago, I was able to be a carny for a week. And it was so exciting. It was so exciting. I was sitting there with all the big rides. I didn't get to leave with them, go out of town, but it was still fun. And it made me happy to see my family, my two kids running around at the carnival, just hopping on rides. We got in good with the workers, and they could just slide in and out and ride what they wanted to. And they made friends with everybody, and we were a part of the carny for a week. And it's one of my proudest moments.
So what are some of your monthly expenses owners need to expect?
The power bill. The biggest expense is wages. You have to be able to pay your employees something that is going to keep them working for you, and you need to be able to have enough money set aside that even when the business doesn't run right and you don't make all the money you need to make that week, that you're still able to pay your employees. I think that's the major expense. And then you have the power bill. It's expensive.
I've heard that the first year is always the hardest for businesses. Tell us about your first year.
My first year has been a roller coaster ride. There were many days that I was wondering if we were going to make it. And Facebook goes a long ways. If you just put on there you need help, Lancaster will come running and support a small business. And they kept us going. They almost busted our doors down one week when I did it. And it was crazy because everybody was like, we didn't know the donut shop was here. And beyond, contrary to popular belief, I did market my business. I let people know it was there. I passed out flyers. I hit the streets walking. I did a lot of what they call guerrilla marketing, paper flyers and things of that nature. And I tried to let everyone know that there was a donut shop there. I would pass out free donuts. It was do special little things on Main Street, like I hid Easter eggs and did a free contest for a $50 gift card, all kinds of different things to try to get my name out for the business. What was the question? I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. But how
my first year?
Your first year.
Yes, up and down. That is just to answer. Up and down. It was hard. I didn't get as much sleep as I probably needed to, but we made it through it.
Yeah.
And it's not as hard as it was anymore. So if you can make it through the first year, it does get easier.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
What makes a good boss and employee relationship?
Oh, my mom and my sister work at the shop, so I haven't really figured it out yet. Some days they hate me.
Okay. Where do you see your business in the next 5 years?
Honestly, I got big dreams. Big dreams. I don't want to say them on the air and tell everybody, but I do see it growing from a lot bigger than what it is now. I always believe if you shoot for the moon, you can land in the stars, and the stars is a good place to be.
Yeah.
Even if you don't hit the big goal, you can land comfortably somewhere. So that's where I hope to be in 5 years.
Any chance of different locations in the future?
There is. Yeah, there is a few locations in mind. We're just gonna see how it goes. I go with the flow, so whatever I'm able to do, that's what I'll do. If something comes along and says, hey, this isn't the path for you no more, then, I'll do something different. But for now, I hope there's a lot of flavor factories in a lot of places.
So that's a fun little question. If you remember, what is your first customer experience? Like the first person that came to your shop and got your donuts?
The first person who bought my donuts at most of my, when we first started out, even at my trailer, when we first opened it, my cousin Josh, he happened to be my first customer at a few places. And it's always a good time with Josh. So, you know, we cut up with each other and laugh. He was the first of a lot of people that came in the first day, though. We had a soft opening and only friends and family knew about it. It was packed with people. I mean, we didn't know what we were doing either. We just got our machines that morning. I was so excited to make a donut. I had everything I needed, all my licenses in order. So I said, hey, everybody come out. We're going to figure out how to make a donut. So we were serving raw donuts. We didn't know what we were doing at all. And it was probably the best first customer experience you could have. They couldn't hold it against me. I mean, most of them were cousins and mom and pop, and it was a good day. It was relieving to be able to finally, hey, I got my shop open. Because there were times that I was wondering, do you even know what you're doing? I didn't know what I was doing. Honestly, I didn't, but people helped me out along the way. And a lot of people was willing to give me the knowledge I needed or tell me, hey, this is what you need to do. And as long as you stay true to who you are, people will help you a lot in life. As long as you're not out there trying to, try to get rich off the next man, or you just, oh, there's my shop.
Let's give the people watching a location of where your shop is.
Yeah.
It's a little dainty place, but it's very cute.
Thank you. It's small. It's small but mighty. We get a lot done in the little shop. It's right off Main Street. If you're familiar with the Main Street area, when you get to the LA Tap Room and the Downtown Craze Hair Studio and the Purple Rooster, take a left. It's called Gay Street. We're right there on the left. There's a little alleyway on this side. But that's us.
Go on to next. And this is like the inside of your shop.
Yes, I had to paint everything.
It looks a little nice.
It is.
I love your shop, actually.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was a factory theme because we were going to do the Flavor Factory. So I wanted to try to keep a factory look to it. So we did the open shelves, and we really just did what we could. You know, what we could afford, what we could get away with, what would work. But it happened. That's me and my sister. She works in the shop. I know y'all see her. This is our big event at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We were out for their light show. We stayed out there for 6 weeks. It was nice. I should have put the picture of our lights, and you could see the racetrack in the back. It's one of the perks of owning your own business and being able to go places. We got into some pretty big places.
These are your blueberry lemon.
That's it. Blueberry lemon, our famous blueberry lemon. This picture probably helped us grow our audience. When it hit Facebook, all people loved it. It had the drip. They all shared it. Everybody loved it. So people come in asking for our blueberry lemon all the time. It's a little famous flavor for Lancaster. That and the maple bacon.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah. I'll put it on the list of donuts to bring to you guys.
Thank you. Well, thank you for being on the show.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. That's all the time we have for today. If you have any comments or suggestions, contact us at the address on the screen or email us at learn.tv@lsd.k12.sc.us. You can see us on our content on vimeo.com/learntv or Comporium Cable Channel 114. I want to once again thank all our guests for being on the show. I'm Maya Moore, and thanks for watching Entrepreneurs.